Good morning, folks. I'm Bob B, caul medium. I'm a caul bearer. It means I was born with a veil on my face. I've always known things, okay, from the other side. Anyway, I've been thinking about my grandmother a lot lately. As a matter of fact, around Christmas time, about a year ago, a little over a year ago, not this last Christmas, I was smelling coffee, like, 11 o'clock at night, and there's nobody around where I live, and I shouldn't be smelling coffee in about 2 weeks, okay? So I knew my grandmother's around. That reminded me of her Swedish pancakes, okay? You can see the card is typed out. This is how long ago it was, and we loved them. She made a lot of stuff. So when you went to my grandma's house, there was always food, always coffee. All right, here's what we got. We're going to start with a pint of sour cream, 3/4 tablespoon of baking soda, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder. Now we're going to start mixing that in, okay? We'll mix that up. Mix it up really well. We're going to add, I have extra large jumbo eggs. Okay, the recipe calls for 3 to 4 eggs. I usually do 3. I don't like it to get too eggy tasting. So I'm putting 2 these jumbo eggs in that I have. We're going to mix that in. And we'll get that all mixed up. This is really nostalgia. It really brings me back. I'm actually making these for my grandchildren. Okay, they love them. Some of us, when my grandmother made them, some of us ate them with syrup. I never did. It didn't call for syrup. My grandma was from Czechoslovakia, and my grandpa, her husband, was from Scotland. Okay, my grandfather owned a deli, and my grandmother always cooked for that deli. Roast beefs and turkeys and stuff like that. Okay, now we're going to add in the sugar. And we're going to beat this up pretty good. I like using a hand beater instead of the electric beater, kind of, Now you can see it's a little watery, so we're going to add a 1/2 cup of flour. We're going to beat it in little by little. Just get the right thickness that we need. I was talking about smelling coffee a couple of years ago rather, sorry. Can't do 2 things at once sometimes. A little more flour. Just put the rest in. Okay. So I was talking about my grandmother's smelling coffee 2 Christmases ago, and I was, there's a story about Nana. Nana, as we affectionately called her, she always had coffee for us. Okay, and she percolated the coffee on the stove. And one year, we bought her a Farberware percolator. Well, let me tell you something. That was too modern for her. She'd have none of it, okay? She didn't like it. She wouldn't use it. She just wanted to make her coffee on the stove. And she, so ultimately, that Farberware never got out of the box. So we ended up taking it home and using it ourselves. All right. So you get the picture. I mean, she made all kinds of coffee cakes and stuff, things of that nature. And I've done videos on Swedish pancakes before and used my Nana's recipe, and I've gotten hammered by people online saying, "Oh, this is not the way you make Swedish pancakes." Well, this is my grandmother's recipe. This is what she always did. Like I said, she was from Czechoslovakia. She had a lot of friends back then that were from different parts of the world. And I think one of them was from Sweden, and this is where that recipe came from. Anyway, getting back to what I was talking about. It was Christmas, and I smell the coffee, and sure enough, I just couldn't place it, but I knew it was her. She visits me often. I got several people that visit this house, okay? Never know who they are, but I know one is Nana. All right, we're gonna head back over here, and I'll continue this story as I cook these pancakes, all right? So what was happening was I was smelling that coffee, and like I said before, I definitely knew it was Nana, okay? And then I started thinking about her Swedish pancakes, and I thought about all the coffee that she made us, and you know, how she really did not like to use the Keurig. I mean, the Keurig, we'll get to that in a minute. Didn't like to use the percolator, the Farberware. She always wanted the one on the stove, okay? So now, as we make these, all right, you gotta make them small. I don't know if you can see this, all right? A little like silver dollar pancakes. So while I was getting coffee, it was Christmas morning a couple days later, from smelling all the coffee, I made some coffee on my Keurig over here, over my shoulder. You can see it. By the way, Nana was thick. She was hard-headed, caring, not in like the biggest compassionate way you would think, but she was there for me. She was really there for me. So as I'm smelling all this coffee, that Christmas, I come out to make my coffee. I make it in a Keurig over here, okay? And so I make my coffee. I turn around, start walking away. All of a sudden, the lid from that Keurig, I was about here, came flying at me. I heard something, I turned, it came flying at me. I ducked. It missed me. I know that was Nana saying, don't use this, got to get yourself a percolator on the stove. I don't think so, Nana, but you know, I know what you want. All right, guys, now here we go. We'll get back to the cooking, get a little bit more stories later. These are heating up fast. You got to use a lot of butter, all right? And like I said, you make them very small. Perfect. Got to flip them before they burn. They will burn fast if you're not careful. Perfect. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit. They really smell good. They smell like they should. So, keeping my fingers crossed that I did a good job with this. If not, Nana will let me know, I'm sure. Yeah, you know, as a caul bearer, I get a lot of messages. A lot of strange things have been happening in this house. A lot of crazy things. I don't think it's all Nana. I think there's some other souls. I believe I live on Indian Hill Road. I believe that some of these souls are Indians. Okay. Let me start moving some of these pancakes onto the platter. By the way, this is my Nana's dish. So it's really honoring her. Now, I'm going to continue to make these. I'm going to cut away so I don't bore you with this cooking. And I'll get back to you as soon as they're done. I'm getting down to the last little bit of pancakes. I've been cooking for a while now. They're going quick. It's just that you're making them so small that it takes a while to do them all. But they really do cook quick. You really have to watch them. Anyway, I know my Nana's around. I'm hoping I'm making her proud. I just recently made them about 2 weeks ago, and I brought them to my little 14-month-old grandson, and boy did he wolf them down. He liked them a lot. Brought some to my granddaughter, she's 13, and she seemed to have liked them a lot too, but you know, I do it for the kids. Yeah, okay, maybe me a little bit too, all right? So, got a few more. I'm gonna finish it up, and we're gonna be trying them out. I like to take everything off the sides too, you know, make sure I get my money's worth. My grandfather came from Scotland, and I think I got a little bit of his cheapness. No offense to the Scottish. Once these are finished, I got one more of probably another pan, maybe not quite a whole pan. Now these are supposed to be uniform. Okay, my grandmother had a cast iron frying pan that had openings for these little pancakes. Now my cousin, Michael, may rest in peace, he bought me one, gave me one. I just couldn't deal with it, so I don't use it. So, it doesn't matter what they look like. They're good. I'll eat them. I don't care what it looks like. Now, yeah, okay, I'm a food photographer. I've done several cooking shows for the Italian American Network when they were up. It was a little different. We had a staff, we had a crew, maybe a food stylist to help with this. But hey, I'm here flying by the seat of my pants. Now, as a caul bearer, I call myself the caul cook. It kind of ties the two together. And this idea was floated by my publisher, Vinny Corbo, Vinny from Veloso Press, and a good friend of mine, Joe Scotti, who both said you should combine the two with my cooking abilities, whatever, and the messages. So that's what I'm doing. I hope this works. I won't know. But, I can tell you this. My little grandson, he's 14 months old now. I brought him a batch. He ate them down like crazy. All right, folks, this is the last of the batter. I'm going to cut this up so as best I can. I'm not a real great editor, and hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Hopefully you'll make these and you'll enjoy them. All right, it's really worthwhile, especially if you have little kids, grandchildren. They're going to really like them. You don't need any maple syrup, so these are a little bit healthier. You're not getting all that sugar, although there's a lot of sugar in here. This is it. Like I said, you got to get it every little last drop. See, the bowl's empty. All right, we'll finish these up. Then we're going to try them, see how I did. Hopefully made Nana proud. I know she's been with me because she pointed out a few things I should have known that I did wrong. But anyway, another minute, they're done. All right, folks, this is it. This is the last of them. Okay? Now the rewards of eating them. And trust me, they are rewards. I had one cousin, he kept after me to make them. Never did for him. Told him he could make them himself. And now we're not talking anymore. Alrighty, turn off the heat. Alright, we're all done. That's them. Okay? Now, you can see it makes quite a few. And they are small. And let's see if I made Nana proud. What do you think? Oh yeah, this is a good batch. This is actually better than the last batch I made. A little more careful. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Pass comments, like, follow me. Again, I'm a caul bearer, and what I do, as well as a commercial photographer, and what I do, the souls come to me and talk to me for my clients and helps them through what they're going through. All right? Anyway, guys, that's it. Let me know what you think. Again, this is a homemade selfie, so don't be too harsh. And if you don't like the recipe I use because of somebody else's recipe that you're used to, that's cool. Whatever recipe works for you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Always remain hopeful, never hopeless. And always be optimistic, never pessimistic. And watch out for the Keurig lids. If your grandmother was pretty strong and pretty there, something might fly at you. Don't be surprised. There's so much more in this life than what we know. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching me. And again, make them, have fun, enjoy your life.